Alright guys, take a look at this bike. This is a 2022 Harley Davidson Street Bob Special. Take a look at that. And apparently if you don't get the special version, it has a 107. But with the special, you actually have the 114. And kind of the interesting thing is I actually have a Dyna Street Bob, which is a completely different beast. One actually has shocks on the outside. The old Dynas, they don't make them anymore. This is a soft tail. So with the big monoshock in the middle. So we're gonna take this one out for a ride. I actually did some demo rides last year through Harley Davidson. And one of the ones I didn't get to ride was this one because I ran out of time. So looks like we got our standard Harley Davidson mirrors. Looks like you turned it on here. Make sure you're in neutral, pulling the clutch. Ooh, nice, nice. This is interesting. It has, instead of the big speedometer, you actually have like a little digital. Looks like you have the time, you have the gas, ABS, nice. Got the brand new sticker on it. It kind of has an interesting, almost like a heart-shaped gas tank. This is kind of interesting too because you kind of sit down into the bike. It's like the whole bike is kind of lifted up. So I'm pretty big. I'm actually 6'4", 235 pounds. Is it interesting rumble to it? All right, should we do it? Look at how far up the foot pegs. That's really far out. You know, my Dyna's like way out. I got the Ford controls. It's completely different. So we'll see how this one actually feels. Take a look at the clutch. Oh, you don't have to let it out too far. I love these Harley Davidson's clutches because there's a lot of, you get into the friction zone and there's a lot of play as far as the, it's not like a really short friction zone. All right, we're gonna try this. Ooh, it has an interesting stance to it. Back brakes are pretty much what you'd expect. Blinkers are your Harley Davidson blinkers, right on the right, left on the left. Interesting. All right, so pretty nice. The seat, I noticed first off, the seat is pretty firm. It kind of hits me right in the tailbone. First thing I do with this is change the seat. It almost feels like you're sitting down into it like a chopper with the lifted bars or something. Whoa, it's got some power. Wow, I got that 114 with quite a bit of power. All right, so I'm gonna try to close my visor to kind of cut down on the wind noise, but the problem I've been having today is it's so humid today. My visor's been fogging up big time. All right, let's see here. Clutch is pretty good. Wow. All right. First time on Street Bob Softail. Wow. This thing's got some pickup. Pretty nice. Has a nice rumble to it too. Nice little roar. You definitely feel like you're in the bike on this one. For me, I feel like my feet are way too close to my body. It's a completely different stance. Very responsive front end, very responsive. So the last few bikes I've been taking out had really big back tires, or front tires. And with the really wide front tire, you actually have it's hard to turn. This one's really easy to turn. Like you can really turn on a dime with this one. Very responsive. Like if there's like a can or like a pothole or something, you just go right around it. You could whip right around it. Versus some of your thicker tired ones. All right, so let's pick it up a little. We're going 70, not too bad at 70. I say more stable than my Street Bob, my dyno. The suspension's actually surprisingly good. So my dyno, the stock suspension was terrible. That thing will rattle your teeth. This one's actually pretty nice. Not too bad at all. It may even be better than the Lowrider S. One hand wave, not too bad. You know, sometimes you have a one hand wave on certain bikes and it feels a little unstable. Like I can't let go of the steering, of the handlebars. Like on your Sportsters, I always felt like going, you know, this fast, 60 on your Sportster, trying to, you know, lift one hand off to wave is a little bit sketchy sometimes. I saw one guy riding a chopper down the road, and every time he pulled one hand off to wave, it's like I thought he was gonna lose it. This one's pretty stable, one-handed. Not too bad. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And the gearing is like mine too. It actually has 6 speeds. So you could get on the highway with this and have plenty of range. You could go really fast. You could probably, you know, do 80 miles an hour, no problem with something like this. Got the, it's actually like a stripped down bike. There's no fancy anything on this. This is almost like a, just like a chopper kind of stripped down. They even, it's almost like they tried to remove the speedometer to kind of bring it all the way down. It has a really nice sound to it. Back brakes. Front brakes are a lot better than the back. Back brakes are pretty bad, like a lot of your bikes. That Sportster S probably had the worst back brakes that I ever felt out of any bike. Let's see. I am fogging up again. Need to keep going. Fogging up way too much. Way too much. One big fog machine in my visor. Alright. Wow, when I pull up to the stop sign, I'm definitely gonna have to pop that visor. Alright, so let's get on it. Wow. Nice. Nice. Got enough power to give you a thrill, but not enough to make you like fear for your life. I guess that Sportster S was like almost too much power. You know, some of those bikes, it feels like if you give it too much, you're gonna lift up the front end. This one, I don't think you could lift up the front end. It's just got just enough power to where it's manageable. Maybe if you popped a clutch or something, you could lift up the front end. As far as going around the corner, very stable, very stable. Nice. You can definitely, when you're giving it gas, I'm going almost 70. Wow. Very nice. Very stable. This is a really fun bike. I didn't think it would be this fun. Actually. And it's just a weird stance. I thought it feels like the foot pegs are way too close to me because I'm so big. But I'm kind of getting used to it. It like gives you because the handlebars are lifted up a bit, and you kind of feel like it's yeah, I like this bike. This bike is awesome. Wow. Boy, I've been riding a lot of really nice bikes. This one, the Ultra Limited, is like almost like cheating. It's like you're riding a car. This one actually, you can feel the road just a little bit. You can feel the rumble of the engine, so you can see, like the Ultra Limited is more, it's almost like riding a car because it's so smooth, so incredibly smooth. And this one, it feels like you're riding a Harley on this one. You know, you got the full wind in your face. You got the handlebars lifted up a little bit, kind of sunk down in the bike. You got plenty of power. You got the rumble. You know, you could open up the exhaust a little bit and get a better sound out of it. A louder sound if you're into louder sounds, but it doesn't have a bad sound, just the way it is stock. So it's pretty nice. All right, so apparently there's an accident on the highway and we were told to turn around here, so let's see. Let's see if I can pop my visor a little bit. So yeah, pretty good, not too bad. Slow speed stability is pretty good. Not bad at all. The thing I like about this too is it's not top heavy like that Ultra Limited. You pull up to a stop and the Ultra Limited is so heavy it just feels like it's gonna fall over, which is kind of crazy. All right, I'm gonna close my visor again. So this is our modified route. Those people on the bikes that were right in front of me, we're actually on the Harley Davidson demo tour. They brought in an 18-wheeler with like, I think they have like 18 bikes this year, which is kind of crazy. Wow, this bike, I love it. It's just like a stripped down bike. This is like almost what a Harley Davidson is supposed to be in my view. Just kind of like a stripped down bike where you feel the wind, you feel the bike. You know, you're not getting beat up by the road like a chopper. You can feel the road a little bit, but it's not bad. And actually the seat is becoming more comfortable now that I've been sitting on it. It's not really hurting my tailbone like I thought it would. When I first sat down, it seemed uncomfortable. Wow. Man, this thing, tons of power. You can feel, I'd say, a little bit of road vibration in the handlebars when you're going like 70. But yeah, this is pretty nice. Not bad at all. Would I buy this bike? Yes. I would buy this bike. I would buy the Ultra Limited. I would buy the Heritage Classic. I would buy the Sportster S. I'd buy the Road King. Those are all some of my favorite Harley Davidson bikes. So many bikes, not enough money. I can't buy them all. This one is amazing. The power that it has, it's pretty amazing. This one, out of all the bikes that I've ridden from Harley Davidson, this one, I don't know what it is about this bike, but this bike feels like you're on a Harley Davidson versus the other ones. They don't really have the you know, I guess like the outlaw biker kind of a feel to it. I guess you'd say. And I love the wind in my face. There's nothing like the full wind. But it's weird with the Sportster S. It felt like you sat up on top of the bike. It almost felt like kind of like a sport bike. And this one feels like you're sinking down into the bike. So it's, even though it's like the full wind on both bikes, wow, the back brakes are really bad, really bad. It's like, what's going on with the back brakes, Harley Davidson? This one and the Sportster S, oh, they're really bad. It's like you almost need to use the back and the front at the same time to actually stop. The front brakes are great, but it's just weird. I don't know if they're kind of rusted up a little bit from sitting too much, but I don't know. So these are just demo bikes on the demo truck, which is kind of interesting. Even my Dyna brakes in the back are a little bit better. Usually your back brakes aren't that good in the first place for a lot of your bikes, but usually they're better than this. So you gotta really get on them. Super slow speed stability, not the greatest. Like going 2 miles an hour, and it's mainly because of that skinny front tire. So it's kind of a trade-off with the front tires. If you get a really big thick front tire, seems a lot more stable going 2 miles an hour, and it's a lot more stable like on the highway when you're going fast, but you don't have the maneuverability on the road like a skinny tire. skinny tire is like really flickable, I guess you'd say, where you could, like, you know, go around a little something in the road really quick. Yeah, this thing has got plenty of power. No one's gonna complain about power on this one. That 114, that's just screaming. This bike is awesome. Wow, I didn't think I'd like this bike that much. I didn't think it would be as stable and feel as awesome as it does. It just has an awesome feel to it. It's kind of hard to explain the feeling that you get when you're driving a bike. You know, it's almost like, I don't know if you've ever driven like a Porsche. The Porsche is all about the feeling of driving. It gives you this exhilarating feeling compared to other cars, and you really can't compare anything else to like the feeling of a Porsche. And that's what it is with some of these bikes. You get like, it's not just the stance or the power, it's the whole feeling that you get. You know, some bikes are kind of scary, some are like super luxurious, and some are just like this one, just like awesome, like rugged, but just like raw, like a raw bike. Like you just want to strip all this stuff away and you just want to ride. It's pretty awesome. It's like, who needs a dash? Who needs a windshield? You just want to ride. It's a kind of an interesting feeling on this one. And if you look at kind of the controls, it's just like basic controls on the steering wheel and the headlight. It's just like there's no frills. It's like a no frill bike. This is my kind of bike right here. I guess it depends what you're doing too, so I don't know if I'd want to ride this like on the highway going 75 for 8 hours straight. You know, you probably want like an ultra limited or something if you're doing that. But just, you know, just for normal everyday cruising, yeah, you'd ride something like this. And then of course you need like your Road King to go to the grocery store to get you need some saddlebags to actually get some groceries at the store. You can't really do that with this unless you have like a backpack or threw some saddlebags on it, I guess. But this bike is pretty surprising, I'd say. Pretty awesome. Going around the corners, it feels really stable around the corners, actually. Which is also surprising. Usually with the skinny tire, sometimes it's a little squirrely going around the corners, but this one seems really stable. And a lot of your Harley Davidsons don't really have that much of a rumble to them, you know, compared to a lot of your stock Indians. It seems like the Indians have a little more rumble straight from the factory. But this one does have a good amount of rumble to it, actually. It has a good sound. I'd say louder than most of your other Harley Davidsons straight from the factory. But I know with this engine, you can really open it up and make it super loud depending on which exhaust you put on there. You know, I kind of like this independent test drives, because last time I was up here, I was doing these test drives on a lot of these bikes. I didn't actually ride this one last year, but it was in groups, and then you had to wait for the group to come back, and then you had to wait for everybody to get ready. It seems like this one's more self-paced, and you're not worried, especially worrying about like inexperienced drivers in front of you. So I think it's definitely an advantage. This is a pretty awesome bike. I don't know about the color. For me, I'd probably choose black, like a black color on this instead of blue. But it's pretty awesome. Alright, I was getting nervous going through the parking lot because of these crazy drivers. So yeah, would I buy this bike? I would definitely buy this bike. I'd buy one of these and probably some more. If I had an unlimited amount of money, I would definitely buy multiple Harley Davidsons. And this would be one of them. Pretty awesome. Alright, kill button. Oh, let's put it in neutral. Goes right into neutral. Super, like silky smooth. Kill button right there. You saw it kind of had a little vibration in the handlebars right before I turned it off. That was pretty awesome. Let's see, the kickstand has a nice little lip on it right here. Pretty awesome, pretty awesome. The other thing that I find interesting on this one too is that it kind of has like an up and down. It doesn't really lean that much. It's almost like straight up and down, which is kind of wild. All right, so there you have it. That is the 2022 Street Bob Special from Harley Davidson. All right, guys, thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.